All right, ladies and gentlemen, here on the show floor 2025 at ITC, I'm joined by Trevor, Giroux here. We are with Pinpoint Predictive. So Trevor, tell us a little bit about the product and value prop you offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pinpoint Predictive, within 24 hours, we're building custom-tuned predictive models.
Okay.
We only operate in the P&C space today, but what we're doing is we're taking scores, risk scores, loss predictions, and tuning it based on carriers' existing experience and what their appetite looks like. So we're helping carriers grow more profitably,
right,
and with better precision,
right,
than just kind of putting the widespread nets out there.
So I give you data, and you guys are doing the analysis and doing the kind of trying to figure out where all of the kind of what do we call that?
Our platform's doing all that automatically.
Got it.
Right. So within 24 hours, we're building a model that is actually tuned to that book of business. And what that means is carriers are only required to give us a name and address to get that score. So they're plugging it in early, top of funnel for marketing purposes,
right, for
underwriting purposes. We're actually being approved by states for filings in the pricing realm, and also for claims. So we kind of play across the entire life cycle of the policy.
And so what kind of tuning and adjustments on a regular basis is that required? Is that something you guys handle, or is that something the carrier then becomes responsible for?
Yeah, so we do all of that automatically through the platform.
Okay.
So the carrier would give us the premiums and losses essentially, and that's all we need to tune the model based on what their experience is. Or they just give us something like a binary classifier where they tell us yes and no's, ones and zeros.
Right.
And we can say, oh, here's what that model looks like for you, not just what the industry would give you.
Interesting. So because I'm thinking about my own experience kind of working with and integrating with predictive models, and typically that's something that we would get a refresh once a year, and then we're using that through our underwriting process. This is something that I'm calling, and it's adjusting on the fly as you're getting data?
To a degree. We don't actually ask for the outcomes as you go. So we can follow that exact process once a year. We can refresh it based on where that book is going. So the goal for us is to start with the carrier.
Got it.
And to tell them, here's how much lift you're going to see over the next year.
Yep.
They do that, and as their book shifts over time, then we do a refresh and we give them the latest and greatest. So their worst decile, if you will, is always moving and changing, but it's actually getting better for their business. So their loss ratios are improving all the time.
Got it. I love it. If you had one message for kind of the impediments to adoption for this type of technology, what is the number one kind of like naysayer type dynamic, and then how do you overcome that?
Honestly, the feedback is that it's scary because it's unknown. Nope, they haven't done it yet. It falls into the AI type of what do we do with it? But we've done a number of things to be proactive on that front.
Right.
And one of those things is taking the bias and fairness question and putting it into our actual, into our pitch, into our products.
Right.
So we go proactive. We've been working with the states. We have a third-party audit that looks at all of our variables, all of our features, and make sure that these things are not just meeting the standard, but actually exceeding it. So we're trying to have this, be the first ones to get there and say, we want to be fair. We want to drive this. So you should use us to not just do better and write better business, but to be better for the consumer base as well.
I love that. So I heard explainability in there, and then what I also heard is, because I do a lot of coverage around third-party risk of AI tools, so you guys are going that extra mile on behalf of your clients, customers, to be able to, with the regulators, with whomever, be able to talk about how your product works so you can explain it and be responsible for it.
We know every carrier would want to do that. We know they don't have the time and the resources to do it. So we've taken it on ourselves and say, let's go get a third-party audit done. That we have a certificate on, we can share with everybody. States are loving it, carriers are loving it. So it's been super helpful in our journey.
Fantastic. Trevor, thank you so much for your time, man.